Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us in the Jerome L. Greene Performance Space. I'm Indira Etwaro, executive producer of the Greene Space, and we have been on an extraordinary journey over the last month. The Greene Space has honored the 75th anniversary of Zora Neale Hurston's novel, Their Eyes Were Watching God. 1 month shy from today, actually, is the 3-year anniversary of the Greene Space. Our hope and mission is to take audiences on a soul-stirring journey to connect, to inspire, and to transform. Our Zora celebration has truly been an embodiment of our hopes and aspirations. I want to acknowledge 2 visionaries who are here with us tonight who have been fiercely supportive of the Greene Space. Laura Walker, President and CEO of New York Public Radio. And thank you, Laura. And Noreen O'Loughlin, Vice President of Integrated Marketing and the Greene Space. All of the video from this festival, including tonight's, you can find and share on thegreenspace.org. Our celebration began on February 24th with I Too Sing America, a look at the relationship between Langston Hughes and Zora, hosted by QXR host Terrence McKnight, and it featured pianist Randy Weston and scholar Mark Primus. 1 week later, the Greene Space presented the American premiere of the richly powerful radio adaptation by Arthur Yorinks of Their Eyes Were Watching God, directed by Ruben Santiago Hudson. Ruben's passion and unparalleled skill for telling stories that matter continue to inspire me. Ruben and Arthur are right here with us in the front row. And also of note, please stay tuned for the radio broadcast in September 2012 on WNYC 93.9 FM. Carl Hancock Rux's humor and keen wit brought us the amazing music and literary salon featuring Toshi Reagan, Noni Hendricks, Patrice Johnson, and more. Carl's with us this evening. And my takeaway from the last 30 days, it's just pure gratitude. So please bear with me as I thank the people behind the scenes for this Zora project. My sincere thanks to the Zora Neale Hurston estate and Victoria Sanders and Associates, whose support has really made all the difference. Are you here, Victoria? Thank you so much. I'd also like to acknowledge Edward Hurston, who's joined us for several events. And do I see him? Is he here yet? Maybe joining us later this evening. My colleagues who have allowed this project to take flight and reach a widespread audience through their creative process in press, community engagement, and marketing efforts. If you're here, can you please wave Jennifer Houlihan, Brenda Williams-Butts, and Theodora Cuslin. And finally, last but certainly not least, is my Greene Space team, a team that I get to spend my days and most of my evenings with, comprised of truly beautiful human beings who never respond to a dream with why, but rather why not. Nikki Johnson, Ricardo Fernandez, Eric Kamens, Esau Tyler, Norman Small, David McClain, Chase Colpone, and Gaines Laguerre. Please join me in thanking them. And to help me introduce tonight's esteemed panel, Women on the Horizon, will be Arthur Yorinks, Ruben Santiago Hudson, and Carl Hancock Rux.
Lucy Anne Hurston. The niece of Zora Neale Hurston is the author of Speak, So You Can Speak Again, The Life of Zora Neale Hurston. Though only 3 years old when Zora died in relative obscurity, Lucy Anne Hurston has, over her lifetime, compiled a detailed knowledge of her aunt's life and work with an historian's observant eye. Lucy Anne Hurston's own work as an academic sociologist, with field research in Jamaica and St. Kitts, among other places, provides her with a unique connection to her aunt's perspective and life. She's been the producer and host of 2 documentaries on Zora and the director of a high school production of Zora's play Mulebone. Lucy Anne Hurston currently teaches sociology at Manchester Community College in Connecticut. Lucy Anne Hurston begins her work, Speak So You Can Speak Again. Zora Neale Hurston ignites passion. Once introduced to her stories, those she told and those told about her, people want more.
Alice Walker is an internationally celebrated author, poet, and activist whose books include 7 novels, 4 collections of short stories, 4 children's books, and volumes of essays and poetry. She's best known for The Color Purple, the 1983 novel for which she won the Pulitzer Prize, the first African-American woman to win the Pulitzer Prize in fiction, and the National Book Award. Her work has been translated into more than 24 languages, and her books have sold more than 15 million copies. Walker's most recent works are Overcoming Speechlessness, A Poet Encounters the Horror in Rwanda, Eastern Congo, and Palestine, Israel. Hard Times Require Furious Dancing, The World Has Changed, Conversations with Alice Walker, and The Chicken Chronicles, Sitting with the Angels Who Have Returned with My Memories, a memoir. In 1973, Alice Walker resurrected the work of Zora Neale Hurston when she traveled to Fort Pierce, Florida, and put a headstone at her unmarked grave. Walker is one of the world's most prolific writers, yet tirelessly continues to travel the world to literally stand on the side of the poor and the economically, spiritually, and politically oppressed. A quote from Alice Walker: "We belong to the same world, the world where grief is not only acknowledged, but shared, where we see injustice and call it by its name, where we see suffering and know the one who stands and sees is also alarmed, but not nearly so much as the one who stands and sees and says and does nothing."
Ruby Dee's acting career has spanned more than 50 years. It has included theater, radio, television, and movies. On stage, Miss Dee was the first black woman to play lead roles at the American Shakespeare Festival. Although she has appeared in over 50 films, her life has not all been just acting. She has long been active in a variety of movements. She, along with Ossie Davis, traveled to Lagos, Nigeria as goodwill ambassadors and eulogized Malcolm X in 1965, and later his widow, Betty Shabazz, in 1997. Jointly presented with the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences Silver Circle Award in 1994, Dee and Davis officially became national treasures when they received the National Medal of Arts in 1995. In 2000, they were presented the Screen Actors Guild's Life Achievement Award. They are inductees in the Theater Hall of Fame, as well as the NAACP Hall of Fame. And in 2008, Miss Dee was awarded the Screen Actors Guild Award for Best Supporting Actress for her role in the film American Gangster. She also received an Academy Award nomination for this role. Miss Dee is particularly proud of her one-woman show, Zora Is My Name, about Zora Neale Hurston. She stated, "The kind of beauty I want most is the hard-to-get kind that comes from within. Strength, courage, identity."
Sonia Sanchez, poet, activist, and scholar, is considered one of the most important writers of the Black arts movement. Sanchez was the first presidential fellow at Temple University, where she held the Laura Carnell Chair in English. She was also at the forefront of the Black Studies movement and taught the first course in the country on Black women, teaching the novel Their Eyes Were Watching God. She is the author of over 16 books, her most recent book of poetry, Morning Haiku. The recipient of numerous awards, Ms. Sanchez's extraordinary voice has earned her the American Book Award, the Langston Hughes Poetry Award, and she was a finalist for the National Book Critics Circle Award for Does Your House Have Lions? Having lectured and read poetry to over 500 universities, colleges, and organizations all over the country, Sanchez and the world, Sanchez has established a reputation as a highly renowned voice in the 20th century. Freedom Sisters, a national tour exhibit from the Smithsonian, brings to life 20 African-American women from the last 200 years who have fought for equality for all Americans. Sister Sonia